Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with the Denver Broncos. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. The man in charge for this crew, the 6'1" quarterback from the University of Houston. It's the veteran Case Keenum.
And what a career he had for the Cougars. How about over 5,000 yards passing in 3 seasons there, each of 3 seasons? And it hasn't stopped because last year in Minnesota, 2017 for the Vikings, over 3,500 yards, went 11-3 as a starter. He still has the magic.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And they'll go on the ground. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Back to throw, Keenum. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on third down.
And ordinarily on third down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
So on fourth down, on comes Brandon Mcmanus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Mcmanus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
After splitting the uprights, Mcmanus to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001, and that's the veteran Drew Brees.
Total relentlessness of consistency, almost like a machine. If you watch him in practice, after every throw, he resets his feet, visualizes all the other options on a play. So if he has to do it in a game, it's already there, has the muscle memory. I started calling him AI for artificial intelligence. Whatever a defense does during a game, he absorbs it and then uses it against them as the game moves on.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Shotgun now for Brees. And this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Ready. We're waiting.
Brees to throw on second down. And his throw is incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, the tight end. And it's 3rd and short. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Hey, 81 right there. Ready. Yellow lady.
Now Brees. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. So the Broncos coming out now. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Keenum. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide. It doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing is Keenum. And it's incomplete. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Keenum. And that will be incomplete as well.
And no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return, and the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Brees now to throw. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Ready? We're waiting.
From the gun, it's Brees. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Let's go, ready. We're waiting.
Working from the gun, it's Brees. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. And they'll go with a ground attack here. He finds an opening past the 40. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. To throw is Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
first carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now the former Utah man, this is Devontae Booker, and they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. 10 more there and another first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been
Still
a little
second down.
discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, pick them up. And someone jumped.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Keenum throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost, and now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Eli Apple. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Saints get set to trot out there. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Ready, yellow lady.
So after the INT, it's Brees. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Ready, yellow lady.
Now Brees. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Ready, you ready?
Now Brees on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And he's getting a workout here in this 1st quarter as he gets it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, here's Keenum. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Working from the gun, Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Pulled in at the 24. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints coming out now to take the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Ready? You waiting? You inside?
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
The Saints on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Ready?
Here's Brees to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here we go. Ready? You waiting?
On 1st down, Brees. And this will be incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Ready? You waiting?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Ready? Yellow waiting.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They're 2 for 2 on third down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on third down. Brees now. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Third down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
Yeah, and it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
On here, Brandon Mcmanus for the point after. Extra point from Mcmanus is good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 27. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Ready. We're waiting.
Brees hands to Ingram. And an alley to run. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And a nice run to get him past the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 7. It's 2nd and 8 now. 1 quarter down. 10-zip our score. We'll head back to New Orleans after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Ready. We're waiting.
From the gun on third down, Brees. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up fourth.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The offense trots back onto the field, and we take an in-depth look at Royce Freeman. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at the 20. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready. Ready.
To throw is Brees. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Brees. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. Oh, good move. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. Unable to corral him. He fights through. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Keenum on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Keenum now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Keenum. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? From the gun, it's Keenum. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. In for the score. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination, but the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
Now Mcmanus to tack on the extra point. McManus's point after is good, and that makes our score 17-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Now Mcmanus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready. We're shot.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And an alley to run. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Brees leaves this one with Kamara. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Strong left. Strong left. Strong left. Ready. You waiting? Wait, set. Wait, set.
Now they'll throw with Brees. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about that little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Tight end right. Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting. Hey, we got 4. Wait, set.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Thomas barreling ahead. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage there, partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burko?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, then he curls back inside for the completion.
Brees now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting. Wait, set.
Brees now to throw. Caught by the tight end Watson. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting. Wait, set.
Again, it's Brees. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16.
Ready. Yellow waiting.
A give. This is Kamara. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Ready. Yellow waiting. Yellow waiting.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on
Still
that play.
second down.
Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Ready.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one good for 12 yards. And they're going to have a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Now Brees. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. On 4th down, off goes Drew Brees, and on comes the Saints kicker, Will Lutz, for the field goal attempt. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Lutz's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Keenum now on 1st down. And that's complete to the tight end Hireman. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
If the post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on the ground they go with a running back. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
From the red zone, it's Keenum. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Keenum. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Keenum now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Deshaun Hamilton, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And they use that height on the outside to get the score.
We've seen the evolution of the wide receivers. They've gotten taller and taller, but they've retained their quickness and their speed. It's a lethal combination.
Always good to have wide receivers with height. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Now Mcmanus for the extra point. Extra point from Mcmanus is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. Now Mcmanus on to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. Brees now on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Ready? Waiting. We're shot.
Brees to throw on second down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Brees, and that's complete. It's Watson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Now Brees. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Brees now on first down. He's going to loft one deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Tremaine Brock. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He's been in a pretty good groove. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling because now you're in a position where you're confident in either one, either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this out past the 25. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Keenum now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
In the game you're watching, Case Keenum has been the star of the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
3 down. Ready. You waiting?
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Brees. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Watson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Hey, guys, check me out. Ready. You're waiting.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Brees going to try and throw on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Thomas Morstead now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Defense,
got the lead. Yeah. We got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut him down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. A.J. Klein on the tackle there.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Broncos on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman, certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Offense.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
And a manageable third down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing on first down is Brees. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Alert! Ready! Yellow waiting!
On the ground, this is Kamara. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second down, here's Brees. He's got Smith here. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Ready? Yellow waiting.
They go play action here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And I think the ball's out. The Broncos say they have it. They do. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And despite the fancy footwork we saw, they'll get to him just inside the 15. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The Saints on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready? 90.
Working from the gun, it's Brees. The open man is Smith. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Here we go. Three down. Ready?
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Now Brees throwing on 2nd down. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Cameron Meredith, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Lutz now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for
first
naught
down.
on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. In on the tackle, Alex Okafor.
Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Keenum to throw on 2nd down. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
The Broncos on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Here's Keenum. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. This is fielded at the 27th. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 37. Brees now. Finding some room at midfield, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15. And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A man who's been busy this afternoon. It's Kamara again. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Shotgun now for Brees. Finds his man. Walks it over the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Brees now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Ready. You ready?
Running with Kamara. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now flags will come in. And I think this is against the Saints up front.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the gun, it's Brees. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Into the red zone, it's Brees. Letting one go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Ready? You waiting?
Here's Brees to throw. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Ready. Yellow 80.
Brees to throw again. And that's caught by Smith. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that cat?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Ready? You're waiting. You're shot.
They'll run it with Kamara. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. Well, this offense only mustered 3 points in the first half on that field goal. They picked up the pace now. 2 third-quarter touchdowns.
Hey, you remember that appearance we had last week in front of that crowd, and they asked about halftime adjustments and all that was going on, and remember what I said. It's not always an adjustment at halftime. Sometimes just remembering the game plan and playing better, tuning it up and just working through it methodically. They got it done in this case.
Of course, I'll always remember that appearance because I had on a brown belt with black shoes, and you pointed that out in front of the crowd. So thanks for that.
I said that out loud?
You did.
My bad.
Lutz with the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 24-17. So that drive in total 8 plays. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On play action, now Keenum. And incomplete. While we have a second, Charles, the Patriots, of course, back in the Super Bowl, getting the 37-31 victory over KC in the AFC title game. Great game, but, you know, the Patriots...
nobody believes in them.
Yeah, right. They're playing that underdog card, but I thought it was funny because after the game, they asked Tom Brady, were you guys just trying to use that for your own motivation? He said no comment because they were. They know they're not the underdog.
They know it, but when you've been that great for this long,
you need something.
You've got to find something different. And Tom Brady, I've got to give him credit. Somehow he made his team buy that and believe in it when no one else in the country did. And I think it really started with their first playoff game this year when the Chargers came to town. I know I picked the Chargers against them. A lot of people picked the Chargers. They took that as, well, no one believes in us. And everyone thinks we're not as good. They were just wrong about that part, as we were wrong about the Chargers beating them.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 11. Now a play fake, and it's Keenum. He's going to air one out. And fighting down inside the 25. Coverage there by Von Bell. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Ready. Yellow lady. Wait a sec. Ready. Wait a sec.
Again, it's Kamara. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Ready.
Brees looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Complete to Watson, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready. You ready?
Now Kamara. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Back to the ground, it's Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the 2nd time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Keenum under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Cameron Jordan in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing is Keenum. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Broncos on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. From the gun, it's Keenum. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. 49-yard punt, on the return. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Ready. Go away. 51 to right, boy. 51. Play set.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And now running right through it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Ready. You waiting?
They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Ready. You waiting?
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. Now if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 11. Play action. Now it's Keenum. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
The Broncos on 3rd down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd down and 12. Off play action, Keenum. He's going to look deep down the field, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. They were forced to punt last time. Now I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
So after the INT, it's Brees. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's second down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete.
Here we go.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Ready. 90.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Brees. Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. Brees to another long-time vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On the ground, Kamara. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on 1st down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here. In this situation, they stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there.
4 down. Check. Ready. You ready?
Working from the gun, it's Brees. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Benjamin Watson, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers at the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that'll be incomplete. A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down? The offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Keenum on 2nd down. And down he goes. Keenum is sacked. Cameron Jordan able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been stymied left and right. Converted only 1 time. This will be 3rd and forever. Out of the gun, Keenum. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 23. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. He's knocking on that door for a 100-yard game.
And what receiver doesn't want to be part of the Century Club? Every receiver, when the game starts, wants to have 100 or more yards next to his name. It's a badge of honor, but it also shows that you're helping out your team.
And he has certainly been helping out his team so far. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their 38. Now Brees. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 47 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Ready?
Brees on the draw, gives to Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, They're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Brees going to try and throw on third down. His pass caught at the 4. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Ready? You ready? Where's that?
They'll run. This is Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be second and goal.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Ready? You ready? Where's that?
Here's Brees. And he's got him. Touchdown, Saints. Benjamin Watson, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Lutz now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field. Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Keenum now on 1st down, and his throw's going to be incomplete. I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Keenum. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Shotgun snap for Keenum. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Keenum now on 1st down. And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45. So that throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down is Keenum. Drops it underneath for Booker. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Call it a gain of 5. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
From midfield, here's Keenum. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Bunt. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Again, Keenum. Complete out right to Jake Bunt. 13 yards there, offset some of the penalty yardage as it's 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Keenum to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. And And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. And a manageable third down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Again, it's Keenum. Got a man that's complete to Hamilton. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a first down throw. Keenum. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So that one will be accepted. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Again, they'll throw with Keenum. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the air again, Keenum. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Throwing on 1st down is Keenum. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Now Keenum again. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Now Keenum on 3rd and goal. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
We got three, ready. Yellow lady, swing time.
Kamara. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Ready, wait.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. The Saints in victory formation now as they'll take the knee.
Ready, you ready? One shot.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Ready. Yellow waiting.
And they'll run it here. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.